you strike me down, I shall become more powerful than you can possibly imagine.
Welcome back to another No Bull review. This is Bulldog here, and it has been way too long since I've made one of these videos. I want this to be a regular series on my channel that you guys see quite frequently. So let's get into another game here. I have chosen Legends of Venari here. Full disclosure, the reason I've chosen Legends of Venari is because I have a decent amount of assets here. Total value of assets might rank number 2 for me, behind only Splinterlands. It's hard to say for sure because there's no market in this game yet. We are in early access. I've earned a lot of stuff, but I can't actually go sell it, so I don't really know how much a lot of it is worth. But I feel like this is probably game number 2 in terms of total value. So I do have that source of bias here, but what these No Bull reviews are is me being completely honest, talking about the games, not only the positives, but trying to look at some of the negatives that I see, talking about honest investment strategies that a lot of influencers aren't going to tell you, because then it can negatively influence that strategy. I'm going to be completely honest with my thoughts. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm always going to be right. We're gonna have full honesty here and talk about both good and bad. This is not just a promo video. It's not a paid video where either I'm influenced by the company that's paying me or traffic for the channel. When you make a positive promo video for a game, a lot of the players playing that game then like to go share those videos, things like that. If I talk about negative things, it's less likely to get shared. So there are incentives for content creators like myself. There's plenty of others out there that there's incentives to make just these positive videos, these kind of hype videos, that type of thing. That's not what you're going to see here. You're going to see full honesty from me, and I'm going to talk about some things that I know, at least one thing here that I know the devs might not necessarily appreciate and they're not going to agree with and like my opinion on it. I have talked to these devs before. I actually like them quite a bit. I know they're not going to like this take, but we're going to get into that a little bit. But first, let's show you guys what the game is. For those of you who are not sure what Legend of Venari, haven't come across it in the past, let's dive in here and we're going to talk about it, because this is a it's kind of a casual game. It's a fairly straightforward game. It's a creature collection game, kind of like you would see from something like Pokemon. The gameplay is very, very simple. You go in and you get baits. You see a goal up here, you buy baits and you set the bait. So down here at the bottom you can see I've equipped a flowering grass bait. I set it, you wait a certain amount of time, you come back and there's going to be Venari that you can try to catch. There are different tiers here, so we've actually got a couple of different ones. There's a tier 1 and a tier 2. We'll try and catch this tier 2. This is, no, that is actually a tier 1, I apologize. I don't know why I was thinking that was a tier 2. That's a tier, or sorry, yeah, that's a tier 1, so apologize for that, but let's jump in. We equip a rig. Your rigs can level up as you kind of progress through the game. We can equip some bait if we want. I don't need any bait because I know this one doesn't need that. The reason's not important here. But you go in and you have to figure out what combinations of actions they like. You can try to feed it, which I didn't bring bait because I know it doesn't have a feed action because I've already solved this puzzle. But you can play or you can fight. And when you select an option, it will tell you if you're right or wrong. And so this is green. Shows us that we made the right choice. It's kind of just with some of these you can look them up places. Others are random specifically for your account. So, but even if you don't know the answer, you can just kind of randomly choose, and based on whether you guess right or wrong, you'll know the answers for next time. So here we got them all right. We come in, we catch the Venari, and then we get gold. You can sometimes get essence. You get the Venari itself, as long as it's not out of print, basically. So I know we're going through a lot here, but that's the core action of the game. That is basically all the game is right there. So it is very, very simple, but it's actually a lot of fun. Going through and collecting lots of Venari as we come through here. I actually haven't been playing it in a little while. I've kind of rented my pass out. But if we go to our Venari, I've caught 1,363 Venari. There's all sorts of different Venari. You have different tiers. We can look at our tier 1. We can look at our tier 2. There's a legendary that's like a promo one. This nice little gold one that we got was from an event. So it is fun going through and collecting all of these Venari, trying to catch them, trying to kind of solve the puzzles and figure things out. So it's not a direct click to earn, but it's not advanced gameplay. This is not some AAA type game, at least at the moment. It's a very simple casual game that you can go in and collect Venari. So here we go back to the screen where I could set some bait. And the simplicity of this game actually is why I think it's going to do very, very well. Because the reality is that I know with NFT gaming, all of us are saying we want these better games. We want AAA quality games, right? We want the Call of Duty to come. We want all those things. But the reality is that that's not where the money is right now. Right now, the guilds bringing in the money, the players bringing in the money are treating this as an investment, and they're trying to profit. And that's all they really care about, is trying to profit. That's all people care about, is trying to profit. So simplistic gameplay like this is actually more attractive for a lot of guilds, for a lot of players in the play to earn community, that type of thing, than an advanced game. In Splinterlands, as Splinterlands community manager, I've been involved with marketing, that type of thing. It's been very hard to sell Splinterlands to a lot of players, a lot of guilds, because as soon as they realize that there's advanced strategy and certain players are going to be so much better than others, and you have to learn the game and you have to put in time in order to become a good player. You can't just be, you're not just good right off the bat. A lot of people are no longer interested. As much as people say they want a good game, they don't. They want something casual that's kind of fun and interesting to play, but that doesn't take a lot of effort and doesn't require a lot of training from the guild, doesn't require recruiting a lot of top players. That's something that anybody can come in and play, because there's less cost associated with that. And you can if you have less cost, you can get a better return. So I feel like a game like this is going to be very, very attractive. I see a lot of similarities with this game as I did with Pagaxi. Pagaxi is a pure click to earn. Pure click to earn that blew up and was absolutely huge. Made a lot of people a lot of money, myself included. I did pretty well in that, got in that one early, and then is kind of fallen apart as the economy's not necessarily had a great setup. But a lot of people are attracted to it because of its ease of use. It is just a click to earn, so anybody could play it, and it was set up for it was very, very easy for guilds to manage. And we've got that here. Let's go in here real quick right here. We've got that in this game as well. If I go look at these passes, we're gonna take a look at these passes here real quick. So I've got, as you can see, I've got 6 alpha passes and a lot of the base passes that we've talked about. We'll kind of talk about that here a little bit in a second. But when we rent these out, it's very easy. I come down here, I set the fee. So here, 50% of earnings, that's what mine are set at, is 50% of earnings. You can set it to literally whatever you want there. You can set it up down right here, allow request. So this one is set up so anybody can come in to request it. You can go to the link to this pass and you can request it, and I can just approve it just like that. Very easy to lend out the pass, set the earnings. There's virtually no management needed as a manager. So if you're a guild and you've got a bunch of scholars, it is very easy to keep track of. All you have to do is make sure people are active. You can set up, again, it's by default it's set up to for passive lending passes or for 24 hours. You can click on auto reactivation and it will automatically lend out every 24 hours to that same person. You automatically get the earnings. There's very little that you have to do. And that is going to make this very, very appealing to guilds, to these large NFT gaming guilds. You don't have to train players. You don't have to manage anything. All you gotta do is make sure they're active, and you could probably automate that process very easily if you know any code at all. And then it's kind of fun. It's more fun than Pagaxi is a pure click to earn. This one has a little bit of strategy as far as resource management, as far as finding the right combinations. It's very base level strategy. It's nothing intense. It's very casual. It's something that I basically would play in the background of a lot of other games. So it's not. I mean, you can definitely say that it's a game and that it's fun going out and collect. Like it's literally fun. I've got one here. Let me go in here. One of my most exciting moments in NFT gaming, period, was collecting one of these. Let me go into these Venari right here. I actually got, this is one of my prized possessions right here that I think is going to be worth a ton. This Jinhu #1. This was an event tier 3 Venari that I caught the #1 serial for. Rushing to try and find those and then actually catching that, it was actually quite hilarious. I caught that during a meeting with the developers of this game. It was hilarious. The event was going on and I'm on a call with them, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just missed everything you said the last 5 minutes. I just caught serial number #1. It was like just a huge thrill, absolute huge thrill going in and catching that. I've got another serial number that I caught, so I've only got 2 serial number Venari out of all of those. So that's gonna be pretty rare. I can't wait to see what that actually costs or is worth when the marketplace it comes up. I mean, it's gonna be hard to judge because I'm the only one that's got one, but see what some of the other #1 Venari are going for and that type of thing. So the game can legitimately be fun, but it's very easy to manage as guilds. And if we go back to these here, let's go back to these passes right here. The way these passes work, there is a set amount of alpha passes. These alpha passes are, they were pretty expensive at one point, and the price has gone down as they've generated some of their passes. So this game has kind of like a breeding mechanic. So with this pack, like you can see right here, this one is one I actually just recently went and bought because I went and invested some more as the market's been crashing and everything. I went and bought some more passes. It unlocks 4 base passes every 20 days. It's going to generate a base pass. These base passes can't currently be played. If we go back to him, you can see here. You can see these are some of the base passes that I've generated. They can't currently be played during the alpha, but once the full game comes out, then you're going to be able to use those base passes and other people can use them. So the game's going to start out very, like right now it's very restricted. As it gets to general release, those base passes will become active, more players can play. Those base passes, some of them, as you can see, some of them obtainable passes 2, 2, 1, they're going to generate more passes, and it's going to be kind of like you see with breeding and Axie, Pagaxi, those types of things where they can generate more and more. So as we go on, more and more players are going to be able to play. Are some of you seeing the similarities between this and Pagaxi here? Pagaxi started out when demand was low, the prices skyrocketed, and it basically turned into a pyramid structure. And that is what I've said, that these devs are not going to like me calling this. My plan for this game right now, there's going to be gameplay coming as far as battles and things like that. We don't know the economy with there's no token release at this point, anything like that. We don't know how that's all going to be incorporated. So there's a lot of unknown with this game. I want to make sure I say that here with all this. There's a lot of unknown. I feel like worst case scenario, as an investor, getting in early is going to be advantageous because I can see this and the value of these passes taking on a pyramid structure. And that long-term for a game is not necessarily a good thing. That's not a good long-term outlook if that's all this is. And there's a solid chance, just based on the history and development of NFT games, that we could see that right here. I'm not going to know for sure until the battle mechanics come out, and especially the tokenomics come out, what's going to happen. But I like the value of these passes, and that's why I'm getting them early, because I think there's going to be a huge demand for these passes when the game first comes out. And if I do not like the tokenomics, if I do not like the gameplay, I'm probably going to unload my passes during that spike. That's my first thought. If I'm not happy with the tokenomics, I'm going to dump on this game fairly soon. Again, I'm calling this a no-ball review. I'm telling you guys my strategy, and that's not a good, like, a lot of creators won't tell you that, because if I'm telling you that I could potentially dump on this game early, that's going to trigger more people to dump, maybe before I do, right? So that's not something you see, but I want to be very honest with you guys. Now, I'm hoping they can develop a good economy. Hopefully we get into this and I say, oh, I like the economy, I like the tokenomics here, I think this game's going to be absolutely huge, and I'm going to hang on to it. So I can always opt to hang on to them later. But this is why I've kind of, even recently, poured more investment into this game, because I think worst case scenario, it can be a fun game that takes on a pyramid, the kind of the pyramid shape, like like Pagaxi basically, and it rewards early investors. So I want to be one of those early investors. Now, what type of battle mechanics are they going to have? We don't know for sure, but what they've kind of been looking at is like a Pokemon Go type thing. Now, not the whole moving around and catching thing, but as far as the battle system goes, a Pokemon Go type thing. I'm actually like, I'm kind of, it's hard to get excited about gameplay that you haven't seen in the NFT gaming industry. It just is. There's so many crappy projects out there. I've talked to these devs. I feel very comfortable that they want to design a good game, and they are putting in the time and the resources to design something. They have made sure that this is not going to be pay to win. We've had like running some of these events and trying to catch these early serial Venari. We've been like, let us buy more energy, let us buy this or that or whatever the case is, and they have been refusing to sell things because they've said we do not want to make this pay to win. We want to make this a fun game that is free for everybody, and that anybody can come in and play, and you can't just pour money into it to get an advantage. So I know they care very much about making a good game. That said, that doesn't necessarily, there are a lot of projects that care about making a good game and haven't been able to execute it. So we'll see. But I'm hoping they can get that battle system in. They can get the tokenomics designed well, so we can have a really fun game, and this can be the next huge play to earn game. I've got some optimism that can happen because, again, I do like the direction of the team, but I'm also prepared in case that doesn't. I've invested, and I'm very prepared to get out of this game early if it looks like it can be one of those pyramid structures. So if you see one of those things coming, it's, can you get in at the beginning? If not, stay out. I've been able to get in at the beginning, so that's why I'm in on this project. So we'll see. I can't wait to see when they have more details about what's coming in, but that's what I'm thinking. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Do you like that I'm telling you? I'm very curious to see those of you specifically who have also gotten in on Legend of Venari, and to see if you agree or disagree with my take here. And I know I'm going to ruffle some feathers by saying that this is a game that I'm investing a lot in early and could potentially dump those assets on early. I know that's going to ruffle some feathers, but that's what I want. These types of things, that's what I want to do. I want to be completely honest. And again, just because I'm being honest doesn't mean I'm right. It definitely doesn't mean I'm right. And again, like I kind of mentioned earlier, it could actually make me more likely to be wrong. But if people know that play, right? So I don't know. We're gonna see how it goes. But I just think there's too much content out there that is basically just paid promo videos and just everybody trying to hype things up and everything like that. I want to be completely honest with you guys. So let me know your thoughts. Let me know if this is a game that you think. Do you think this game has a chance? Do you think it's going to be like Pagaxi and take off at first when everybody's fighting over these limited alpha passes, or limited base passes, and then as the passes kind of grow and grow, the value's going to go down? And what are the thoughts? What are your thoughts? Let me know, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. There's going to be a lot more of these coming for more games. If there's a game you want me to look at, leave a comment below. I've got a large list of games, but I'm always looking for more. Let me know which games you want to see. I'll dive in and we'll start taking a look at things. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you around.